Hello, I'm Ryan Haslam with your SCV NewsBreak for Monday, December 9th. We start out now with Dave Caldwell, who joins us first with highlights from the Northern Division Football Championship between two Santa Clarita teams.
Thanks, Ryan. And I think the entire Santa Clarita Valley was excited for the CIF Southern Section Northern Division Football Championship between the Hart Indians and the Valencia Vikings. And the 6,500 fans jammed into Dr. Paul Priest Stadium Friday night were not disappointed. The Indians struck first when quarterback Brady White found his cousin Chase for a 58-yard score. Brady threw for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, but also was picked off 4 times. Valencia running back Stone Jackson then rumbled 16 yards up the middle to even the score. Jackson ran for 163 yards in the game. In the third quarter, the Indians pulled out their bag of tricks as White completed his pass to Chase, who lateraled to Connor Wingenroth, who went 24 yards for the score. Wingenroth had 179 yards rushing and a touchdown. He then intercepted Viking quarterback Jake Wallace's pass in the end zone in the closing seconds to preserve a 28-21 Hart win. It is the Indians' 9th CIF football championship. Hart has now been invited to the 2013 CIF Regional Football Championship Bowl game presented by Farmers, where they will play Chaminade for the right to advance to the state championship game. That game will be played at College of the Canyons this Saturday beginning at 7:30. For more highlights on the divisional championship between Hart and Valencia, watch Inside Sports tonight at 9 o'clock here on SCVTV and on demand at SCVTV.com. Ryan, that's our look at sports.
Thanks, Dave. A memorial car meet thrown together on Facebook drew thousands of people to Santa Clarita over the weekend. The all-day event went off with relatively minor interruption. An all-day stream of cars paraded through the crash site of movie star Paul Walker and Roger Rodas as an homage to the pair who were killed in a fiery crash November 30th. Deputies arrested one man, Kyle Roberts of Phoenix, Arizona, for allegedly bringing a loaded gun tucked into his waistband to the event. He was charged with a misdemeanor. Fans began showing up at 6 a.m. for the event, which finished well after sunset. Coming up after the break, military troops are honored in Newhall during a special tree lighting ceremony.
SCV NewsBreak is brought to you by Action Family Counseling.
My relationships were affected by my addiction in ways that are almost hard to describe. I lost that trust and that sense of intimacy that you have with your family.
Everyone says that, oh, it's just a plant, like you can't get addicted to it, but like really, it is addictive. If you're doing it all day, like every day, it's just like, that's all your life consists of is smoking weed, like then it's addictive.
Think your son is, you'll never know, because it is hard to hide, but if you try hard enough, you can conceal it. There's no face to addiction. Like your next door neighbor could be an addict and you have no idea.
The people we deal with are great people. They're just making bad choices. So if we can help people make better choices, everybody wins.
And I love you very, very much.
Deputies with the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station are looking for suspects in a series of purse snatching that took place over the weekend. At least 4 strong-armed robberies have deputies seeking the public's help in locating at least 2 suspects. The first incident happened Saturday morning on Jake's Way in Canyon Country when the suspects nabbed a 23-year-old woman's purse. Later in the day, a 48-year-old woman was robbed at the corner of Silverado Street and Via Cañon in Newhall by a man spotted in a newer gray 4-door sedan, which was being driven by a woman. The other 2 incidents happened early Monday morning in Newhall. Both victims were women. Anyone with information about either robbery is asked to call the Sheriff's Department for the anonymous tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Well, high winds reaching up to 55 miles an hour were recorded in Santa Clarita Monday. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service have issued a high wind warning for the Santa Clarita Valley and Acton until 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Gusts could reach up to 65 miles per hour, making the streets and freeways especially dangerous for high-profile vehicles like trucks and recreational vehicles. Icy conditions are also expected along the Central Coast and Interior Valley areas. 50 degrees for the high in Santa Clarita Monday. Overnight lows are expected to dip about 37 degrees tonight. We should see temperatures start to warm up a few degrees as we push through the work week, topping out in the mid-60s by Thursday and Friday. Santa Clarita City officials are set to discuss mid-year budget adjustments, among other issues, Tuesday at City Hall. After reevaluating expected expenditures and revenues from the past 6 months, Santa Clarita officials come from the city manager's office have reconfigured estimates for the city's budget. There's an additional $17 million in revenue, some of which is tied to specific grants, according to city staffers. Also on the books is a proposed increase for City Manager Ken Strickland's pay, who's expected to receive a pre-negotiated 5% bump for hitting performance goals in his contract. The next mayor, expected to be Lorraine West, will also be named Tuesday at a special reorganization meeting at 5 p.m. This meeting will be the last one of the calendar year, with meetings expected to resume on January 14th. Well, Sunday marked the 72nd anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and in Newhall, military troops were honored at a special tree lighting ceremony.
On this tree, we have blue stars, white stars, unfortunately gold stars. The blue stars are kids who have served in the military or are serving now. We also have veterans. There are pictures of all these folks on the stars. Unfortunately, the gold stars are kids that we have lost since 9/11. When that family loses that child during the time of war, unfortunately they become a Gold Star family.
As many days as possible, we like to recognize our veterans that serve this great country that we live in.
You know, this event every year is just really, really special. We want all of our men and women to be here at home and not elsewhere, and especially for the holidays. That makes it really tough.
That's all we have for you tonight. For more Santa Clarita news, log on to hometownstation.com or scvnews.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Ryan Haslam.
SCV NewsBreak is brought to you by Action Family Counseling.